Good morning. As she said, my name is Tammy Christensen, and I'm the grant administrator for the Strong Cities, Strong Communities Challenge on behalf of the City of Las Vegas. I want to thank you for joining our go-to meeting this morning, and I encourage your questions and look forward to seeing your proposals. We will be sending out several emails, and my address will be included, but if you don't already have it, it's tchristensen@lasvegasnevada.gov. And with that, I will turn it over to Jason Morgan.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My goal is to walk you through the proposal instructions for this SC2 challenge. But first, I want to note that everyone on this call, along with the other registrants to the challenge, have already received an email that has a PDF file, a written document that outlines those proposal instructions. In addition to that, if you were to go to the website today, and you can see on this screen, this is the main landing page for the Las Vegas SC2 Challenge website. Lynn is hovering over the URL. You would go to that website, and for the link where it says Video Proposal Instructions, how to best prepare your proposal, you can access a video file which will walk through much of what I'm about to cover today. So, following this webinar, we are going to send all of the registrants another email. And that email will include the video, which will recap what I'm about to explain. And it will also include a written document that will have recorded all the questions and answers that are covered on this webinar. So if our time does not allow us to answer every one of your questions, we will keep all of those questions that are entered through the chat functionality of this go-to meeting, and we will go about responding to them so that those questions and answers are included in the written document that will be emailed back to you and to all of the registrants. So let's get started. If you were to go to the SC2 Challenge website, the first place we would like you to go to is under the About item in the main menu. You would scroll down over Build a Plan, and you would click on Economic Development Proposal Instructions. And there you will see all of the requirements for what you have to do in order to submit your team's proposal. So I'm going to walk you through each of those elements. The City of Las Vegas is soliciting proposals that embody the best innovative ideas or new perspectives in 4 target areas of our city that have faced long-term economic challenges. They are the Cashman Center, the Las Vegas Medical District, business parks, or projects located in the redevelopment areas. It is your option to choose one or more of those 4 target areas as the subject of your proposal. We ask that your proposal meets the proposal requirements. If it is not complete or does not meet certain requirements, it may be permanently set aside during the submission screening phase and never be judged. To review the proposal instructions, you would come here, or you could access the video or the PDF file that had previously been emailed to you. So we're going to go to Section 1 first, which is called your Executive Summary. In Section 1 for the Executive Summary, you are asked to submit a paper of no more than 5 pages summarizing your major points and a specific project which represents your overarching strategic approach. The paper should include 4 key elements. When you're writing your executive proposal, your job is to make a compelling case for your proposal so that the judges that are assigned to review your proposal might want to read more as part of other sections of your applications. So you should be compelling, you should be pithy, and you should offer this summary account so that the judges will go on to read the rest of your proposal. But the 4 key elements are, first, you're asked to demonstrate that you've investigated regional and local economic development conditions. The second is that you are to provide a broad but compelling description of your general economic development strategy. The third is that you are asked to outline a proposed project that best embodies your strategic approach. This proposed project is a critical element of your submission, and it should address 3 subpoints in your executive summary. First, be specific. Describe a projected return on investment and focus on why the project may represent other related proposed activities. Next, be accountable. Identify further development needs and offer way to solve outstanding issues. Last, be bold. Don't be afraid of new or inventive ideas as long as they are rooted in sound economic principles and are an understanding of the related risks. The fourth and last element of your executive summary should be you have to select the measure of your success. Whether you're measuring job creation or some other return on investment, be as quantifiable as you can be. In addition to the first section, your 5-page executive summary, we ask that you complete a second section. In Section 2, the full body of your economic development proposal, you submit a paper of no more than 25 pages. Here, you cite references in the executive summary and provide deeper explanations. So, there are 6 elements to the economic development proposal, or Section 2. First, we want you to identify your multidisciplinary team members. Those members do not have to have prior seasoned experience in economic development planning, but they should have specific skills which will translate to a better strategic approach. Next, you're asked to publish your detailed analysis of regional and local economic conditions and trends. This will be expanding upon the early issues that you've raised in your executive summary. Next, you will declare your broad strategic approach, including justification and reasoning for using proposed tactics. Again, this is expanding upon the summary description provided in Section 1. Next, you will describe your proposed project in detail. Now, there are 2 subsections to this element of your proposal. The first, you will include a description of the resources required to advance the project. You must include draft budgets and explanations for any assumed expenses and or other implied costs for that proposed projects. Also, you have to explain how the project will generate net benefits for the City of Las Vegas. At what point will the investment pay off for the City of Las Vegas? How and when? The 5th element of your second section is that you have to measure or project any intended outcomes of the overall proposal. So how will your overall proposal impact industries and occupations, either growing or declining in Las Vegas, and why? What is the net impact on job creation and retention in the City of Las Vegas, and why? Where will your proposal have the greatest impact within the City of Las Vegas, and why? When will the proposal generate a positive impact on the city, and why? Lastly, you will consider how the proposal will utilize the strengths or help resolve the conditions of surrounding local and regional economies. The final element of Section 2, your economic development proposal, is that we ask you to conclude with your most ambitious view for the future of the City of Las Vegas and why your overarching strategic approach is critical to realizing that vision. Now, there is a 3rd optional section of your proposal. We realize that you will not have an opportunity to speak directly with the judges who will be assigned to assess your proposal. Therefore, you may submit a video presentation of no more than 5 minutes. In that video presentation, we ask you to focus on speaking directly to those judges. We do not ask that you publish or produce a highly polished video. In fact, we ask that you show sincerity and authenticity by speaking directly into the camera and connecting directly with the judges. Later, we'll be talking about how each of those elements of your proposal will be uploaded into the system. So now, I'll ask Lynn to go to the proposal submission screen. Each of you as registrants will receive an email before September 22nd, the deadline for your proposal, in which we will recap any of the points made as part of the proposal submission instructions. We'll take a minute here and allow Lynn to log in. So this is Jason again. Once you have logged in to the site and you are about to submit your proposal, Lynn is walking you through now how you would access the proposal submission screen. The first thing I'd like to explain is that this screen allows you to enter specific information and to save that information. And so each time you enter new information, we ask that you click the Save button, which is currently in the upper right-hand corner. You would click the red Save button in order to save over any previous information that had been submitted on this screen. You must continue to save that information if you intend to edit or to save over previously submitted information. So, looking at this screen, there are 7 plus 1 optional elements to completing your proposal submission. The first asks you to list your multidisciplinary team members. The field is multidisciplinary team list. Here, if you are in fact a team of other registered individuals, you should only list those other registered individuals as part of your multidisciplinary team. Do not list other people here who are not already registered individuals on the SC2 website. If in fact your team is registered as a corporation, meaning a business or a not-for-profit organization, you can only list employees of that legal corporation here under multidisciplinary team list. Those employees of your corporation do not have to be registrants themselves, but they must be employees of the legal corporation that has been registered as a team on the SC2 website. The next box requires you to identify a primary point of contact by that person's legal name. This will be the person that we will be interacting with as the competition goes forward. You also have to provide that primary point of contact's phone number, the primary point of contact's email address, and the primary point of contact's legal mailing address. The next 2 elements of the proposal submission screen are very important. Here you will be uploading your executive summary. This is your Part 1, your Section 1 5-page paper that covers your major overarching points. Next, you will be uploading your economic development proposal, or Section 2 of your proposal. Again, this is the 25-page paper, maximum 25-page paper, in which you are getting into more detail about those things covered in your executive summary. Lastly, your optional element here is to upload your video presentation. Now here what we ask is that you load your video presentation onto YouTube, and in this final box you would enter your YouTube video ID number, and then you would click Update YouTube Video ID, and at that point you will have completed all 7 or 8 proposal submission elements. Again, I want to emphasize that the deadline for submitting your proposal is midnight Eastern Standard Time on September the 22nd. So I'm going to hand it back over to Tammy so she can clarify or address any points that I made, and certainly to make any corrections.
Hello, this is Tammy. One point of clarification is on the focus areas. You may only submit in one focus area. So the 4 are listed on the website. I won't go over those again. You may also only submit 1 proposal. So you cannot be on more than 1 team, and we will check against the registrant list. So to be very clear on that, you can only submit 1 proposal with your team in 1 focus area. Lastly, on the area where you register the primary contact information, if you're registered as a corporation, we want the mailing address of that corporation. So for that, I think the only other point of clarification is that the registration deadline for Las Vegas is going to be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on September 22nd. I'm sorry, submission. The proposal submission deadline is going to be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So with that, we will welcome questions as they come in.
Hi, this is Lynn Devender again with the Common Pool. So as I stated at the top of the call, please go ahead and any questions that you have, go ahead and type them right in the chat box and we will start answering those. So the first question is, why only legal employees? Where does a corporation list team members that are not legal employees?
So the answer to that question is this was a ruling from the U.S. Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration. That corporation should only be allowed to list legal employees of that corporation. I do want to note that it is possible for teams to be composed of one or more corporations, or a corporation may actually have already identified another member of that team that's an individual. So if that's the case, you don't have to worry about listing those folks. Last, I would just like to say that the members that you identify as employees of that corporation in this box do not have to include all of the employees of that corporation. They can only include the ones who worked on the proposal.
That's the ones that they should include. So whoever is going to be part of your team and listed as such, that is who we would view as the people who are going to split the prize money.
And I think just to clarify this question, I think there's a question about if a corporation has team members who are not employees, do those need to be recorded or listed in any place?
So it's the ruling of EDA that the only people that should be listed in this box are either other registrants or the legal employees of the corporation that has been registered. Those are the only two classifications of people that should be listed in this box.
Again, if we are not clear enough on this, you can always email me and I can, help clear that up for you.
All right, question number 2. If 2 registered teams have found a synergy between their proposals, are they allowed to merge teams/proposals together?
So we're interpreting this for just a moment. All right, this is Tammy. So if you would like to merge your teams together, please email me so that I can help facilitate that process.
All right, the next question. This is really about clarifying the deadline for the submission deadline on September 22nd.
So I just have to say this was a mistake that I made. This is Jason Morgan. We're the contractors that work on the website. The policy decision is that the proposal submission deadline will be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I misspoke during my part of this presentation and said midnight Eastern Standard Time. So it is in fact 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on September the 22nd.
Next question. So how do you list team members that are not team members?
So if you have team members that are not registered as of today, well actually as of the close of registration, then they cannot be part of your team. If they work for your corporation, they can be listed. But if they are not, if you're trying to pull someone in such as an architect or a real estate attorney or something of that nature, and they are not listed or they are not registered, then they cannot be on your team. Does that answer your question? I think that was Mr. Figueri.
I think it was Zach Konai.
Oh, okay. We'll go to the next one. Oh, wait. So all right, Mark, if you will just call me, then I will go ahead and help make sure that we're on the same page with that, or facilitate getting your team members properly on your team. My phone number is 702-229-6052.
There's a question here about which email address to use.
So that's T as in tomato, Christensen Yeah, I'll have, actually, Lynn's going to go ahead and type it up, but it's TCHRISTENSEN at Las Vegas, Nevada, spelled out, .gov. Mark, so your next question that are not employees, I think you and I need to just have a conversation about that just to clarify. So we'll get together after this call if that's okay. Thank you.
All right. We'll just give everyone another minute or two here. If you have any additional questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat box.
This is Tammy again. So you will see a series of emails, I think as Jason said earlier, coming from us just regarding next steps, helping you with your team, anything that you would like, email the address on the website or myself. We filter through those and get them routed to the correct person, and then we're here for you to help you just guide you to make sure that you're eligible to participate. And I guess that's really what we're trying to accomplish, is to make sure that we have facilitated this process well enough so that everyone who is eligible can submit a proposal. Alejandro, we do not have a capability to hear the question if you're speaking into a microphone, so please type that to us. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi there. It looks like Ben Robertson may have just joined the meeting. Ben, we have everyone muted, but if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. We're actually just wrapping up the session. So it looks like we don't have any other questions, so I'm going to turn it over to Tammy to say thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for calling in today and participating in this go-to meeting. We will be sending out the Q&A questions and answers from this session. Again, I encourage you to call me if you need further clarification or have any questions, or email me. You have my information, and with that, we're looking forward to seeing your proposals, and thank you again for participating in the SE2 Challenge.